Hi, this is a teaching for women on the Rainbow Covenant, which is one of the two covenants with promise, as you can read in Ephesians chapter 2. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about the dietary laws and what God deems clean versus unclean, and what the punishment is if you do eat unclean. But basically, we'll find out what God deems unclean, and obviously we don't eat the blood because the life is found in the blood. And we're going to be reading from Genesis through to Revelation, and you can see all throughout the Bible that this covenant is an eternal covenant, and it hasn't been done away with or anything. So in Genesis chapters 6 through 9, you see when the animals are entering the ark, the unclean animals go in pairs by two, and the clean animals go in by groups of 7. And when Noah gets off the ark, he makes sacrifices to God using the clean animals, and by this God is pleased with Noah, and he makes a token or a sign of this, and makes an eternal covenant with him, which the sign is the rainbow, which we still see today, which is a sign that represents that God will never destroy the earth again by flood. And as long as we see the rainbow in the sky, this covenant still stands. We're going to read from Leviticus 11, from verse 1 through 13. And we're going to just find out exactly what Yah considers clean and unclean. So, and Jehovah spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, which, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have no fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, the eagle and the ossifrage and the osprey. And the list goes on, and you can read that for yourself. But they're all quite, uncommon for people to eat anyway, because it would, like bugs and snakes and all the kind of things that would just be nasty to eat anyway. But it just clarifies that further. And but just to go more in depth about all these more commonly eaten foods today, like with seafood, like, mussels, scallops, prawns, oysters, lobster, crayfish, crab, shark, catfish, they're all unclean. And even though like people say it's really good for you and good for all these things, they're actually not no, they're not just an abomination to God, which we want to please God and put him before anyone or anything. But it's actually really unhealthy for you. Like they're all bottom feeders, they're all full of parasites or mercury or things that are actually harmful for your body. So yeah. And yeah, you can also read in Deuteronomy 14, which goes over what is clean and unclean further. It's pretty much the same as Leviticus 11. So you can read that for yourself. And next I'll read from Isaiah chapter 65, verses 1 through 6. I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens, and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense, even recompense into their bosom. And so these people spoken of in this chapter are these people that are very self-righteous in their own judgment, people that look down upon those who love God but may smoke cigarettes or drink alcohol or swear a lot or maybe not tithe a lot in church or, not wear, fancy clothes to church or whatever, drive a Harley, I don't know. They think they are holier than thou, and they think that they pick at all these things that aren't sin to God. There's it's not transgressing any law by smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol, swearing. Like they'd rather pick at these things rather than love their neighbor as thyself and, rebuke sin when they see it. And when they see someone not obeying God, they only care about themselves, feeding their own belly, and rather than loving God according to Scripture. And God hates self-righteousness, and it's a smoke in God's nose, like He says here. And eventually their self-righteousness will be their own judgment on Judgment Day. And so, yeah, it's next I'm going to read Isaiah 66, verses 15 to 17. But you guys can read the whole chapter if you want. But for behold, Jehovah will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Jehovah plead with all flesh, and slain of Jehovah shall be many. That they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Jehovah. So, yeah, it's pretty clear that, Jehovah doesn't want us eating swine, and it sounds like this is people that are sacrificing unclean animals, celebrating pagan holidays like Christmas or Easter, but here it sounds like Christmas, following the traditions of men rather than following the commandments of God. And yeah, and yeah, God's going to come and judge those and come back and with fiery judgment and kill anyone with unclean animals in their vessels. So it's a pretty scary and sobering warning for all those people that are eating unclean to consider. And now we're going to read and yeah, in a lot of people say that we don't have to eat, we don't have to eat following these dietary laws anymore, like it's done away with. But there's two chapters that are very commonly misquoted, which is Acts 10 and Mark 7. And these people think that we can eat anything we want, but in Isaiah 66 is future prophecy. It hasn't happened yet. God hasn't come and judged the whole earth and pled with all flesh, and came down with fiery judgment and destroyed everyone with unclean animals in their vessels. So and in Acts 10, you can go read that yourself. It's but it's mainly from like verses 28 onwards. That's really important, that God's not talking about animals here. He's actually talking about the Gentiles. Then that if you fear God and work with righteousness, fulfilling the royal law, and love God in spirit and truth, you that no man, no matter what race, no matter where you're from, no man is common or unclean, which in the Strong's common is defiled, profane, unholy. And yeah, you can read these yourself if you choose. And in Revelation 18, chapter 2, right at the end of the book now, I'll just read one verse. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So yeah, like God's clearly saying that there is unclean versus clean animals, all the way at the end of the chapter in future prophecy. So it's it just reiterates that the Rainbow Covenant is an eternal covenant, and as long as we see the rainbow in the sky, it still stands. And yeah, I hope that you take heed to these warnings in Isaiah chapter 66, and you read the scriptures and choose to love God more than you love pork and your seafood that's actually making you ill, and it's a smoke in God's nose, and is disobedient to God and what he's commanding us to do for our own good. And I just want to finish with, God made it incredibly easy for everyone to repent and to receive salvation and to be able to enter into the kingdom by loving and obeying and believing in God. number one, wanting to please him and know him and seek him. And loving God is being obedient to him. And how to receive salvation and enter into heaven is by keeping the 10 Commandments, the Holy Covenant and the Rainbow Covenant, the two covenants of promise, and to go and fulfill the royal law, which is loving thy neighbor as thyself and rebuking sin. And you can read Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 7 to 22, and Leviticus 19, verse 17. And if you say you love God and believe in him and his one and only son Yeshua, then start being obedient to Yah and walk as Yeshua walked. Thank you.